very late. Very, 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 very late with the Katrina. With the Katrina. Why is that stuck in my head now? Uh, Earworms are fun. Hey, actually, you know what? I can put that like right there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can see that actually. That works, kind of. Not really. That's fine. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out like what a setup I can maybe do in here at times. I still kind of want to get like a banner back here that I can just like just hang from the curtain rail. And it has like picture of my cars and has like the Katarina's Garage logo on it. I think it'd be kind of a cool sort of background motif that way, but it's not in the budget. Although, if things go the way that they might go, it might be in the budget. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Yes, I am weirdly having a lot of energy for it being 4 in the morning. Why am I awake, you ask? I couldn't tell you. But it's okay. I have one person apparently that joined, and they like the live. Appreciate you. Yeah, I haven't chatted in a while on a live. I do plan on talking about some stuff, so let's get into it. I have been delayed with posting some videos due to waiting on parts and, well, partially also money and waiting for the weather to be better. Because without good weather, I am kind of screwed for a lot of the stuff I want to do. Like, as an example, I don't really want to be on the cold, cold ground when it's like -20 outside. I'm good. That doesn't sound bueno. I don't want to deal with. Let's see. What else? That way. Um. Well, that's the main thing because like there are my fuel lines, which I'm trying to think how I want to route them. Uh, like I think I'm gonna do like an inline pump, and it's probably gonna be like a 275 PL. What is it? GLH pump PL8H. My brain no working. My brain is not working for that to think of what I think it's GLH. I think pump. Doesn't need to be a lot. And just a nice inline pump that's near the tank. I want to get that at the very least, like get that fuel pump, so then I can cut the line how I want it to be and run it towards the carburetor. I wouldn't finish it. I would basically just have it kind of there, cut it to where I expect it's going to be, but have it like, a couple feet too long just in case I need to cut it down and do it that way. But depending on how much extra I actually have, because here's the thing, I know that I have 20 feet of this awesome fuel line from Evil Energy, but also use code CAT50 or CAT10 at checkout on Evil Energy to save 10%. Um, and yeah, that should be like kind of a fun one that way. I've never installed fuel line, so this will be new. Um, Also, hi, how's it going? Can you ask me an honest question? Maybe, maybe. What is honest question? Because I cannot confirm nor deny if it'll be an appropriate question or not for me to answer. But ask your question, and I will let you know if it's appropriate or not. Okay, what kind of a question is that? Like, what? Why are you asking me this? Because genuinely, that basically sounds like, hey, you're fucking dirty. Like, that's kind of like an asshole thing to ask somebody genuinely. Like, really? No. I shouldn't have to justify that with the proper response. So I'm not going to. Plain and simple as that, dude. Plain and simple as that. Because that's honestly just incredibly rude to ask somebody. Especially, like, it's one thing if, like, I was, like, potentially in front of you and, you know, I was, like, smelling. Sure, I can understand that. And you are just gone, dude. Your comments will never be seen on my channel again. Goodbye. I generally don't get that sort of shit. I really don't. But, you know, oh well. But yeah, so like with the fuel lines, like I'll have to run them. And like I said, I have 20 feet of fuel line, but realistically, I'm only going to need maybe about 13 total feet to actually run said fuel lines. But with the excess that I'm going to have, because I think I'll run it to about 15 feet. And then I might actually replace some of the stock fuel line under the hood with that new fuel line that I've got. So wouldn't be too bad. And just it'll cool down the temperatures a bit, and it'll make it look a little nicer under the hood too, a little more cleaned up. So might be an idea. We'll see. We'll see. Hey, Dusty Country Garage, how's it going, dude? Oh, hang on, we got an inbound. There's the kitty. Also, holy shit, there's 15 people in here at 4 o'clock in the morning. What are all you guys doing awake? I mean, some people in here obviously are going to be, like, not in North America and stuff, but yeah. Now, granted, some of that is also like, hey, you're in East, like, United States or Canada, and it's going to be, you know, like 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, Rascal, you kind of screwed up when you full sent into that box, because now it's all off tilter. Eh, silly boy? My kitten's be funny. But, yeah, because once I have, like, the fuel line sort of in place, and I can technically wire up the fuel pump, because what I am debating on how I want to run that fuel pump. Because do I want to run that fuel pump, as an example, on, like, a switch, which I might end up doing, or do I want to, and actually that might be, oh, that's not, damn, I was hoping that was an email, because I'm waiting for an email back from potential sponsorship deal that I'm doing. But anyways, so brain no worky. Brain. Yeah, I have a surprising amount of energy for it being this late at night. I really do. It's just wild. Kate, don't fight on my lap, boys. Don't do it. But yeah, I'm also waiting for the weather to get nice. Because here's the thing. I need to install a cold air intake on my dad's truck. I was sent this almost a month ago. And I haven't been able to install it because it's either been too cold or the truck hasn't been here. So stay tuned, because like I said, that video will come about, and I might just have to borrow somebody's garage. You know, if I can find, maybe one of my buddies in town will let me borrow the garage for like an hour or two, just so I can install that cold air intake. Shouldn't take me that long, but you never know. Just in case if you lose like bolts and screws and whatever else, and you have to scrounge and all that shit. You know, it's always fun, right? And that should be cool, honestly. It's going to make the car sound better, or like the truck sound better. It's going to make it breathe a little better, and it'll gain a little bit of horsepower from this. Not a ton, just a little bit. It might only be about 5 horsepower, might be 10. But you know what? It's more for like the sound. And then what's kind of cool is that, like, it's sort of an exposed filter. It does have a box. It's not a fully covered box though. It just covers the bottom and the sides, I think, but it's exposed on the top, which is all right. I like those sort of styles that way. And it's a cheapy one, but it'll work. Like it's from Flash Arc Racing, which if you use the code Katarina15, you can get 15% off your order at checkout at flasharkracing.com. So hope to see you guys there. Is it try to warm up there? No, it's not. It's not. The problem is I am having an issue of like it's being granted. -10 isn't horrible to deal with. But -10 when you're touching like all this metal and tools that are metal and a nightmare. Your hands will get so cold so quickly. And the one thing is like I don't typically wear gloves when I'm working on cars. Very rarely do I ever do that. The reason why is because I like to have the more flexibility in my hands. But yeah, like it's sad. Like it's again, it's been like -10 for the past couple of days, which is warmer, like a lot warmer than it was. It was like -30, -20, -30 for a little bit, but then it's warmed up again. So I'll take this temperature over that. But I also need to do like oil changes on the cars, and I need to do some other things. I mean, hell, I even need to swap out the valve cover gaskets on the T-Bird. Been meaning to do that for a while, just haven't done it yet. And also once the temperature is actually like nice and the ice kind of mostly melted away, we can get back to filming the movie with that car. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but the T-Bird is in a movie set, so it is quite interesting that way. Ooh, I had an idea with the steering wheel, because the steering wheel, like, it's not worth anything, right? It's just a steering wheel that came with, I got a bunch of parts off of a buddy of mine. He just gave all these parts to me, and like I've sold a couple of them, but like there's a lot of stuff. I've got wiring harnesses out. Like I've got like I think 3 full wiring harness for like aero cars. I've got like dash pieces, and I think I got a partial center console and so much other stuff, right? But this is one of the things that came with, and I kind of had an idea because I could make something and have this as like a fixture somewhere in the background. Like maybe I try and put it up high, like mount it to the wall up there, and it'd have my logo like big in the middle. That'd be cool because I could like there's a couple of screw holes here, right? So I could put like a block of wood here, and then have like a sticker right there, or something that'd be really cool is I could find somebody that could actually burn it into that wood like that and have it on here. That'd be really cool actually. Be a nice little thing. And again, I wouldn't use a steering wheel for anything other than just like just like a set piece in the background of some of my videos and stuff. But that'd be kind of a cool idea. Again, I'm always thinking of stuff to like trying to spruce up the background that I'm working with here, because admittedly, I don't have much here. Really don't. And I mean, to be fair, I haven't tried to go to sleep, but I have quite a bit of energy for it being 4 o'clock in the morning. So there's that. But it's nice to see you, Cole. Hopefully you can get some sleep soon, though. I mean, as much as I enjoy seeing people here. But yeah. Now, what's interesting though is stuff that like this is not a guarantee, but I might have found a shop to do my engine works. So what I mean by that is like I want to get the head modified to fit the 2-barrel directly without the adapter. And they might be able to facilitate that. Plus also get that freaking bolt extracted so I can actually like bolt the header onto the car as an example. But then they could also like as an example deck the head too a little bit, bump up the compression, not a ton because I do want to run it with boost, but have that 2-barrel carb conversion and bump the compression instead of it being stock of like 8.7 to 1, maybe push it to like 9.4 to 1, 9.5 maybe. I don't know how much you'd have to actually deck it, especially with like modern head gasket materials, which are thicker than what your typical older head gasket is. But yeah, it'd be quite cool. And then get head studs, because I may as well. If I'm already going to be in there, I may as well stud the motor. Oh yeah, I mean you can, but like I'm not. The thing is though, I'm not with this wheel here. This is, like I said, it's just gonna be like an art piece. It's not going to be put on the car. I have no reason to throw a wheel like this on any of my cars, and I like the wheels that they currently have. But the 82 Mustang might get sold. I do know that somebody like because here's the thing, the shop that potentially is going to work on the car, they also might want to buy Hail Mary, which is just going to solve all my problems. And then what's interesting though, it's kind of a shame, but at the same time, it's also not, because it makes a lot of sense. Um, is that, well, I would get majority of the parts back from that car. So there's a shop out in Entwistle. I don't know the name of the shop yet. I haven't been told that, but guy that's a fan of my TikTok channel, which if you don't know, I'm actually on TikTok. You can go follow me there as well, is here, because I'm actually live on there more than I am here on YouTube. And it's nothing against YouTube. It's just I can play like copyrighted music in the background of a TikTok live, where I can't do that here. It kind of sucks that way, but my community here is way better than it is on TikTok. So there is that. Oh, no, that's fair. I mean, like a quick release wheel would be kind of fun. And even like I have toyed with that idea of making the stock wheel like a quick release. I've toyed with it, but is it worth doing? Not really. It would be interesting though. But anyways, getting back to what I was talking about. So they want to make Hail Mary a 9-second drag car. It'd probably have like a LSX that's has like a turbo on it, and the whole car would be gutted. It'd have one seat in it. It'd have a roll cage. They would like do everything custom. So I'd get like, and the thing is, they said anything that they are not going to use, I'd be able to keep. So the original engine, the transmission in that car, the shifter, the entire interior, I would get. I don't know what they're planning with body panels, because I don't know, like I said, if they're gonna go to fiberglass, if they're gonna go to like a fiberglass hatch, if they're gonna do fiberglass doors, or even like carbon fiber for that stuff. Are they gonna do like a carbon fiber hood? What are they gonna do with the front clip of the car? That sort of thing. Um, I'll be able to get like the carpet as an example that's like new in that car. I'd be able to keep the stereo, even though I don't know what I'd do with that stereo. But I don't know, they might want to keep that stereo. It'd be kind of funny if they did, but because like I said, that'll be like a dedicated drag car, which would be kind of interesting. And they are open to me filming in their shop, which is cool. I'll be able to film like the teardown of the car, and because I will be part of the teardown of the car. Like, I mean, I could, but then it'd be really funny though. You pull the wheel off the car, and then you have that stoplight, and you try and put it back on, and then it's not really going on very well, and then you look like a moron. That can happen too. Not saying that's you, but I'm just saying that would likely be me at a stoplight doing that. But yeah, so with the shop though, like it could be a very good opportunity that way to work with a shop like that's a machine shop, and it'll be kind of cool to see like the car. And what's kind of neat is I will be able to do like a before video obviously on the car. Like before we tear it apart, I'll just quickly do like a walk around of it. Then I will film the teardown of the car, and then when they're done building it, I will go back out there and I'll do another video on Hail Mary, and I'll probably see her go down the quarter mile and do like a 9-second pass, which would be so freaking cool. But this is like the best of both worlds for me because I get the money that I need to build my car, with like the turbo and stuff like that, and even potentially send the engine that's currently in Hail Mary down to my buddy in California to finally do that injection setup. I would just need to see if I've got a buddy or anything like that that's potentially going down to California that might be able to, like if they have like an empty box in their truck or something like that, that we can just load the engine into the back and he can get it down to Big Bear, California. Like I'm potentially looking into it. There's one person I might be able to there's two. Didn't think about her because she, oddly enough, she does go down to the States a bit. Down to Washington, not necessarily down to Big Bear, but you never know. She might want to. And then yeah, that whole injection setup, and he will send me like some videos and stuff like that, and I will, I will post, those videos up, and you guys will see the process of him actually designing that. And who knows, it might actually launch him to do like full length videos and post them to YouTube that way, because he has a channel. Oddly enough, he hasn't really posted very much, but it's VCMD Productions here on YouTube. And he's a good friend of mine. His name is Shane. He used to come in my live streams quite a bit here on YouTube. That's how he found me. And then we've been kind of close friends after we found each other on Facebook. So... But yeah, like this DIS injection system would be so freaking cool because it's going to run off of, like I said, there's not going to be an ECU, right? It's going to have coil packs and multi-point fuel ejection and individual throttle bodies. What's not to love? Right? Like, what's not to love about that? So, I don't know. It's very exciting for what's to come with the car. And I think with the carbureted turbo setup, I was planning on doing it as cheap as possible and not running an aftermarket ignition system that will retard the timing under boost, but I think I'm going to have to, which sucks, because it would be much nicer to, like, it'll be much safer and much better to be able to do that, and to get like an MSD box that will do that. That's kind of the idea. So we shall see. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going on right now. I am waiting to hear back because there is a sponsorship deal where they're supposed to send me out some awesome goodies for Stitch, and then actually rear springs and Hail Mary, which is kind of funny because those rear springs, if I sell the car, those rear springs I just get back anyways. And so I just have a stock pair of, rear springs that are like brand new for the car, right? So that wouldn't be too bad. But the rear shocks that I'd be getting for Stitch, and too bad they didn't have like all four like this, but I'll be getting some KYB rear shocks that are adjustable, which is really cool. So they just have like a little rotary dial on them, and you can set your, the stiffness to what you want, which is freaking perfect. I love that. And yeah, it's going to be sweet. It's gonna be very sweet. So I don't know. We shall see. Like I said, with everything that way, you know, because when I'm done with the car, and who knows, my goal is only for 7 pounds of boost with the turbo, but I might push more than that. I know the turbo, I think it's good to like around 20 pounds. Not that I'm gonna push 20 pounds. Like, I'd maybe go like up to somewhere around 12 or so with that turbo, but we shall see. Because there's a lot of cost involved. Like, when it's all said and done, I will spend give or take about $1,000 to install that turbo. And it kind of sucks, but eh, that's the price of doing stuff. Now that's $1,000 Canadian, not American. It's kind of bittersweet because I was hoping to spend a lot less than that. I was thinking I was going to spend in the neighborhood of about $400, but that's not going to happen. Oh, I'm not going to push it to 20 pounds of boost, though. I'm not doing that because the stock internals of the engine I don't think will take 20 pounds. So there's that, like I said. And I wouldn't detune it for winter because it's all about throttle control. Like, people think, oh, you have to have like a low power car for winter. It's like, no, you don't. You can drive higher powered vehicles in the winter. Just make sure you're not an idiot, right, about it. It'd be absolutely fine running on 12 pounds all year long round, right? And that's what I would do. Um, so, like I said, but I'll start at like 7. And then I could also, as an example, get the cam that I want, right? That turbo cam, which would be all right. But then on the flip side, if my buddy keeps Buzz, he's talked about wanting to throw boost to it, but at the same time he might be trading Buzz, my old 81 Capri, if you guys remember that car. He might be trading Buzz for a Merkur XR4 Ti that's built out. It's apparently running about like 30 pounds of boost, I think he said, like 25 or 30, something like that, with like forged internals and all this jazz, which sounds like an absolute riot. But if he does not do that, then very easy. I can literally just give him, or not give him, but like sell him, hey, look, I got this nice turbo cam, and I have this turbo for you, and I have the turbo manifold, and all this different stuff that I could sell him, for that. Or I could just sell all that to somebody else that might want a turbo, one of their inline sixes, right? And, well, considering my name is Katarina, this is Katarina's Garage, no. I don't have a penis. I am not a man. Like, ugh. Those comments are just so annoying, like, because here's the thing. How would you like it if somebody went up to you and said, hey, are you a dude? Now, like, are you a dude? Are you a girl? Like, how would you feel about that? Probably not very good. On the flip side, how would, like, again, but you don't realize how rude it is. Yeah, you look like one, so you'd say that, you are a dude. But what if somebody came up to you and said, hey, are you a girl? Like, and just kept poking you with that all the time? Because here's the thing. I get these comments all the fucking time. And it is the most annoying thing on the planet. Yeah, or you can, easy thing, you can be respectful in, like, if you don't know, easy fucking thing to do, just ask, hey, what are your pronouns? Because asking that, because here's the thing, pronouns can, like, change, right? And technically, yes, your gender can change, but at the same time, doing that, then right? because you don't have to ask what somebody's genitalia is or anything like that, because that's just fucking rude. All I'm saying, dude. Like you said, no disrespect by asking. There was a lot of disrespect by asking. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Okay. Um. But anyways, moving on, because it's just ridiculous, and my gender should not give a flying fuck to the conversation we were having, anyways. But so it'll be interesting with, getting those, like, the KYB shocks and being able to adjust them, and it'll help the handling a lot. But then I'm also going to want to install thicker sway bars in the car. Like, even if they're just like GT sway bars, that'll be great. Like, just stock ones. And then down the road, maybe somebody, like a company, reaches out to me that has like Coney ones, or that they have, like Tien or Bilstein or something like that, for like aftermarket sway bars. Would be cool. When am I doing the suspension on the Fox body? When I get the parts, dude. Like, I was just talking about that. I know you just hopped in here, so it's fine. But yeah, like when I get the parts is when I'm going to do this. Like I said, I'm waiting on some KYB shocks for the rear, and then I'm getting some springs, but they're just stock springs. I'm probably not gonna run them, but I might test them to see what spring rate they are. Because if they happen to be a heavier, like, spring rate, then if they happen to be a heavier spring rate than what I'm currently running in the car, then I'll run those in the rear, as well. Because like I said, I might be selling Hail Mary. Yeah, and of course, Austin, I've seen you around. Of course, you've been in my chat multiple times, and yeah. But genuinely, this is going to be very interesting of how this is all going to work with the Fox bodies and with everything in the future. And hopefully we'll get me like a decent amount of content for you guys to see. And then hopefully recoup some money back from some of that content too, because there is that. I do, like, the monetary element is secondary to me of this channel, but and but still, it's nice to have a little bit of kickback, just to help pay for some of the stuff on the cars, because I've spent way more than I've made, way more, but yes, yeah, I know you are the damn it. Sorry, there we go. Yeah, I know that you're often from TikToks, the TikToks. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, my brain's not working. Next door to start racing in Dallas, Texas, so I can get the parts whenever I want. I mean, that'd be dope. Not gonna lie. Like, that's a shitty part. We don't really have Summit Racing up here. Like, yes, we can get parts delivered from Summit Racing, but beyond that, it's the performance shops that we have is like Mopac, which Calgary's location for Mopac is closing. They've been there for a long time, and they're just going to shift other efforts to the Edmonton location. So that's going to be interesting. I mean, again, I've only bought parts from the Calgary Mopac once. I bought some carburetor jets, which, to be fair, I think I'll have to buy more carburetor jets. Do I take a trip to Calgary? Do I take a trip to Calgary, like, next week? I mean, I could, and I could tour some junkyards down there and make it worthwhile that way. Try and get some videos, maybe see actually stop in with Dave and check out the progress on the Poltermerk, and maybe be able to do like a walk around video of his Torino. That might not be a bad idea. Uh, Again, I'd have to like set a full day for this. It'd be worth it though. Like leave in the morning and then check out a couple junkyards, go to his place, maybe go to Jasmine? No, Juliet? Julie's place. Check out her Fox bodies and stuff and go from there. Because I haven't actually seen her cars in person. I've never met her in person. Yeah, so the Poltermerk, if you go back in my channel, to be fair, I actually owned it last year. I sold it last year. I have a full playlist dedicated to the videos on that car, and that car was a pain in my ass. I had so many problems with it. I ended up replacing a bunch of parts in it, and it still kept giving me problems time and time again. So I ended up selling the car as technically running, but not running at that very moment, to a guy named Dave. He lives in Calgary, and he gets the car and he loves it. Like he's done a decent amount of work to it. He's been doing some rust repair, and he's just been driving it. Like he loves the car. And to be fair, I kind of wish I would have kept that car in a way, but then at the same time, I probably wouldn't have gotten Buzz, or maybe I would have gotten Buzz. And I may have still done all the stuff with it, and then still sold it to him. But then I wouldn't have Hail Mary, or maybe I would have bought Hail Mary still because I was such a smoking deal for Hail Mary. I don't know. Like it's again, I've owned way too many Fox bodies. I've owned way too many. Because let's see, all the Fox bodies that I've actually named is Stitch, Lilo, Hail Mary, Poltermerk, and Buzz are the 5 Fox bodies that I've owned and named myself. I have not. I've owned other Fox bodies, but none of them. The rest of them haven't really been running or driving. So yeah, I don't know. And then because like the cool part is though as well, when it comes to so if yes, actually I did. When I saw that name, it was freaking perfect. And yes, she is called Hail Mary now. Because it was a perfect suggestion for the car. Because also, hi, I am atheist, so the religious connotations to Hail Mary I found fucking hilarious. So yes, I did use that name. So technically you named the car, but I took that name and I'm using it. Oh, exactly. Like, and that's the thing. Like, there is a couple of cars I wish I didn't sell. Like, Lilo would have been nice to be able to keep, but then I wouldn't have gotten the Poltermerk. But I also kind of wanted to keep the Poltermerk. I wish I would have kept, that I'm okay with getting rid of Buzz, because Buzz was like a super rusty car, and I didn't really want to deal with all that fucking rust, especially the structural rust. So like, it was good. That's just nightmare fuel that way. And the other one was the Vandura. Because if you don't know, because and only people that are kind of like OGs on the channel, that you've been around for a long time. There's only a few of you that might remember the Vandura and the series I did on that van. Because initially it started out as a video of me finding it literally in the bush. Like, the frame rails were in the mud. That's how much it was buried. And I had no idea it was on the property. I had known Greg for over a year at this point. And, we're like, I've sold a few cars for him. I've gotten a few of them running, all this different stuff. And then he tells me of this van. So, I go and I find this van, and literally, like, it's in the brush. It's nestled in some trees, and it was kind of cool to find it. And so I do this video and I walk around it, and and I realize that, oh hey, there's like a duvet cover or something like that in the back, that was just like exploded. there was a lot of cleaning. Like that car took me about 2 weeks to detail it. And the thing is, I still didn't get it perfect. There's still a lot of stains that I could not get out, but I got a lot of the staining out of the carpet, and the seats I could only do so much with them, you know. Um, but yeah, like the Vandura is one of those ones that I wish I would have kept because that van would have been perfect. It was a 3/4 ton '84 van that was a conversion van, so it had the high top on it. It had captain's chairs. It had a little table in the back. The rear seat would fold down into a bed, and it was freaking perfect. And it wasn't in that bad a shape. Like, yeah, it had actually a decent sized rust hole in the body, but then you go underneath of it, and it was a freaking immaculate. It ran really good. Like, it had a 350 in it with a 700 R4, 3/4 ton van. I could have put a tow hitch on the back of it. Actually, it may have had a tow hitch. Um, and then I could have used that, like get a trailer, tow my cars, pick up other cars, buy, sell, any of the parts that I would need. I could just throw it in the back of the van, like not a big deal, right? Like I really, really wish I would have been able to keep that van. Like that would have been so freaking cool. But unfortunately, I sold it, and I put a decent amount of work cleaning that thing up. But oh well, it is what it is. Who knows? Maybe I'll get another one someday. Because yeah, and that van actually at the time was really funny. That van, as heavy as it was actually faster than Stitch. I did a 0 to 60 test in it and a quarter-mile test, and I found that it was about 2 seconds faster than Stitch in the quarter-mile. It was just too funny, right? And it had like the TBI injection system in it, or at least I think it was TBI. I don't think it was carbureted. I'm trying to remember. So long ago, like so long ago. And that van was freaking sweet. And threw threw a set of tires on it. Did some painting of the wheels. Not a very good paint job, but we did a paint job of the wheels. And and like I said, I just detailed the ever living hell out of it. And I actually got it in lieu of payment because I had sold a one of the I had sold an International Scout that Greg owned, and that was a cool Scout, and I actually did do a video on that Scout. Actually, you can check it out here on the channel as well. Like I said, you gotta go way back for these videos. Like I said, these videos were like 4 years ago, like 3-4 years ago, and it was fun, like doing all that. And I want to get back out to Greg's and do some more stuff, but I do need to talk to I gotta get a hold of Jim and seeing about the other cars in the back, because there's a lot of stuff back there. And actually, cool. I didn't realize that you still have like your first car that way. It's Mustang GT. That's freaking cool. I love it. And am I into drag racing any of your cars? Here's the thing. I'd like to take my car drag racing. Is it going to be competitive? God no. My cars are slow. In fact, I could potentially be the slowest car on the course that day. But it would be fun. Like I would do that in a heartbeat, especially with the the KYB shocks I'm gonna get. I can actually adjust it so that it's like it launches really good and good for quarter mile, but then I can readjust it for when I go like on the road course, because that's what I do. I've done a couple of of track days with my '81 Mustang, but when I get the turbo on the car, I don't know, I might actually be slightly competitive with some cars, because when I'm also done. Like when I'm done with the turbo swap on Stitch, I want to find an Aero GT that is stock, and I want to race it. I want to document to see, okay, everything I've done to this car, can it finally beat a stock GT Fox body? We'll see if I'll be able to find one, because the thing is, I won't have to drive that car. The only thing that I will ask for is, hey, can I put a camera, or maybe even two cameras in your car that I have, a couple cameras on me, and we can take it to the drag strip and see how much faster I am and get like proper time slips and stuff like that. So whoever it is would have to be comfortable with potentially being on camera, which is the tricky part, right? But yeah, genuinely, like I said, I would love to, like I said, drag race a car, but it's not fast. Like I have an app that tells me, speeds and whatever else, and my best quarter mile as it currently sits. Now again, this is not a draggy. It's different than that, but it's just a cheap app that you can get. It's actually free, but it seems pretty accurate. It goes off a GPS signal and it works pretty okay. You know, but you take it with a grain of salt because, of course, it's not, like I said, a dead nuts accurate thing. But 0 to 60, 14.35 seconds, and quarter mile in 17.8. Now, with the turbo swap, I'm hoping to dip down into the 13s. That's my goal with it. I want to make 200 horsepower, with the turbo. Like I want to make 200 wheel horsepower, not crank, wheel. So I should be able to do it. I really think it should be able to get there. Right now, I've never dynoed it with the small tires. I've only ever dynoed it with the big tires, which the big tires do rob a bit of power from it. But if I put the small tires on, like even if and I'm thinking the very first dyno day of the year, I do want to potentially dyno the car with the small tires. Even if it's like my tires that like slip and whatever else, that's fine. Like the Westlake's, I don't care. I just want to do it. You know. And yeah, exactly. Like a 13-second quarter mile would be pretty good for a little inline six, Fox body, right? So like I said, that's kind of the goal in the end is to do like a 13-second quarter mile, and also when I drive it casually, be able to get 30 miles to the gallon, right? So it's gonna be a balancing act to see if I can do it. But it should be fun. And like worst case scenario, it doesn't work out that way. I can't really get it there because like I grenade the motor or something like that. Trying to push more boost to it. So we shall see. There is always too much horsepower. There always is, but we always want to chase more and more horsepower, right? I actually drive casually a lot, Brad. You know that. You know me. I drive casually quite a bit. I'm not always beat on the cars, and that's the one thing. Like you'll never see somebody having more fun driving the car than moi, because I could like beat on my cars. Don't get me wrong, but I don't need to go fast to have fun, right? Like you can, yeah, it helps, but it's not necessary. Take it as an example, like my track day videos, right? Those are so much fun. Am I going that fast? No. Although I was surprised because I didn't talk about this in the video. But what I found out afterwards, I was only within 2 seconds of a 2017 WRX and a S197 GT Mustang. Fucking wild. For the lap times. So this year, like I'll definitely be able to, I should be able to beat that. Like, and my goals for this year, I would love to take the car to the drag strip and be able to run like around a 13-second quarter mile, because at that point I won't have to, run a roll cage in the car or a roll bar. I would just need a helmet, which that's perfect. And then then like I said, take it to the track with track days and get my time to under a minute. Now, if I'm making 200 wheel horsepower, I should be able to hit about a 55-second lap time around our little track there. So we shall see. We shall see. They're not New Year's resolutions. I made these kind of these plans before New Year's. Because I don't do New Year's resolutions, right? But that's just my your goals overall? Because it's not really a resolution, right? It's just a hey, this is the goal. Just like I want to hit 7,000 subscribers this year. That's a goal too, which I should be able to do that. That's a much easier goal to attain. Um, After all, I'm almost at 6,000 at this point, so we'll see with that. And then yeah, um, after I'm done with the build when it comes to like horsepower and stuff like that, then I'll move on to cosmetic mods and finally painting the damn car. Like I said, people have been asking me for years, when are you gonna paint it? When are you gonna paint it? When are you gonna paint it? It's taking a while, okay? Well, here's the thing, Cole. I will have fun in my daily driver. I have fun in borrowed cars, and I have fun in any car I drive. Like, not gonna lie, even like that T-Bird. Like, I've driven it hard a couple of times. Like, not too much. That it's not really a car designed to like, hey, beat on it and beat on it, right? Where Stitch is perfectly able to beat on the car, and it'll take it. Like, it'll say, hey, can I please have some more? Right? It'll be great. Because you're using the fetal February. Fair. I mean, I've kind of I did like workout streams. I think I was doing those in like December to be fair, but I've stopped doing the workouts and I really should get back into it again. You know, because like the problem is that I was having days where like I can't really do this for very long, but even 5 minutes on it is better than no minutes on the rowing machine, right? But yeah, you know, I don't know. We shall see how it all works out with everything, with my life, with the cars, you know. Um, and then yeah, what's kind of cool because like the shop that is potentially going to be like working on the car and whatever else when it comes to um doing some of the machining. They have like a variable rate there, which is cool. Like they're going to be, as an example, so like they were talking to me where like their base rate is about 119 an hour, which is actually a very reasonable rate for a machine shop. But they're not just a machine shop; they're a full blown like mechanic shop that happens to do the machining as well. So they can do anything: fabricating, machining, building full cars. You know, it's pretty cool actually. Um, and they said that like if people help and whatever else with the work, and depending on how much they're able to help, they've been able to knock hourly rates down to around like $55 an hour, which like that is much easier to um you know to like afford that a lot better. But we shall see. Oh cool. I just got a notification from a guy saying he just subscribed to my channel, which is pretty cool actually. I love that. um Hello, James Bond calling. No, that was not James Bond. That was Kim Possible. So yeah, uh, like if you don't know Kim Possible, I there was a show from my childhood, and she she was a bit of a badass, and yeah, I'm just your average girl, and I'm here to save the world, 'cause I'm Kim Possible. Such a good show back in the day, in my childhood. I don't know if I'd really enjoy it much now, but maybe I would. I don't know. I'll have to see like if I can find like Kim Possible and just see if I could enjoy it now, right? And hello. Oh yeah. Hi. Hey, let's go! People know about Kim Possible. Yay! Because sometimes, like, people don't know, but what's really funny, though, is, like, being out in public and my phone goes off like that. And people are like, Kim Possible? It's like, oh yeah. It's really awesome that people know. Some people don't, and that's fine. It doesn't really get a reaction from, like, depending. You can get like a really good reaction, or sometimes you get no reaction, and that's fine, right? Um, but yeah, no, it's fun. And then like this year, I want to do more collaborations too. Like I want to, as example, do collaborations with not necessarily. It doesn't have to be other YouTube channels. Like it could be like TikTok channels as an example. It could be like people that just want to see the car and stuff like that, and I can like film their car, whatever else, and then they can like see my car, and that sort of thing. Like I'd love to meet more fans and that sort of thing too. So I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot that I want to do. I The tricky part. So I'd love to like launch a merch line, but then the tricky part about that, launching a merch line, you typically lose money doing it. Um, so if I do it, I do it through my friend's company, and then she'd pay the taxes, and then she'd just give me a cut of the money, which I'm okay with that. If I'm not like I don't have to make a lot off this because it's more about people just like excited to wear the stuff. Like if I'm only making like $5 a shirt or whatever, I don't really care. If I'm only making like $1 off stickers, again, that doesn't really bother me. I'm not here to make a ton of money. It'd be cool if I did, but I'm not here to do that, right? So I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. With everything, you know. No. Although it is funny because wait, hang on. Rumor has it lately Kim has been dating bad boy Doctor Impossible. Oh my god. Love it. Love it. Um but it'll be interesting how everything goes. And yeah, so I'll have to do that. There's still that trade that's the thing is, I kind of posted a video saying it was gonna happen. It hasn't happened yet. You know, like getting rid of Stitch's original front clip. You know, again, I don't know if you guys have seen that video or not, but and then weirdly, I haven't really gotten I haven't gotten anybody interested in those netted halos in the car. It's surprising. Um, but I don't know. We shall see. Um, I might see actually with the guys that are interested in Hail Mary. I don't know what seats that they're gonna run. Like Judgment is gonna be a 9-second car. They might not run a stock style seat, but who knows? They might. I might ask them, would you be interested in that? And I still gotta send them pictures of those control arms that I have too. Because that's the thing, and I don't know with those control arms if they are SVO specific or if they're just like an aftermarket. Because if they're an aftermarket control arm, I might just keep them and throw them on stage. You know? Yeah, I mean, just ignore the big hole and it being very beat up. Just ignore all that, and you can just look at the steering wheel. Um, yeah. I have no idea what this person is saying, and I cannot, like, what's kind of nice about TikTok lives is that you can actually translate people's comments on the fly. It's pretty nice. Sometimes the translation doesn't come through, but right now, like, I have no idea what this person is saying, and there's Yusuf, you know, which, and also like, again, like, YouTube should like change some of the features and integrate some of TikTok's stuff in here would be kind of nice, but I don't know. We shall see. You got a Greg's Tube that came over and Mustang? Nice! I mean, I'd love to put an aftermarket K member in Stitch, but caveat to that, like, the caveat to throwing that in there is that I'd keep the straight 6. So that aftermarket K-member is designed for, usually it's either a small block Ford, a big block, or an LS, right? That's usually what, you know, what they're designed for. But I'd want to get one and then modify it to go into stitch with the straight 6. So just basically, it knocks off some weight, and depending on those tubular K members, they can actually be stronger than the stock ones too. So, well, Carmine, let me ask you, how old do you think I am? Big question. Also, I saw that you actually subscribed to my channel. I appreciate that because I got the notification, like when you commented the saying that you did, which appreciate you did. But yeah, like that's the big question because, you know, majority of these people know what, yeah, because installing headers easier. I don't have that problem. Like, now granted, my long tube header would fit if I didn't have to do what I'm dealing with, to be fair. Like, as an example, my long tube header would fit if the K member wasn't in the way. Because it is in the way. So, and that long tube header will go on the car at some point. Like, what I'm thinking with that is, like, that long tube header, because the turbo is not going to be on for a bit, because I do want to run the car NA first on the dyno. Then, you know, get the turbo stuff all done, and then run the car with the turbo on the dyno and see how much of a difference it makes, right, in power comparatively to NA to running 7 pounds of boost, right? Again, 7, maybe up to 10. Maybe up to 12. You know, I might push it that far. We'll see. Because realistically, all in, long tube header, getting the intake machined out to accept the tube barrel directly. Just those two things. Having the true dual exhaust out the back too, because I would actually. There would be no crossover, so it's gonna sound a little different. A lot louder too, which I like louder. Just doing those two things with it, and again, that'd also be like upping the compression a bit too, because like I said, with this machine shop deal, because I would still do that. Like I'd still get the head machined out, so that it works that way, and it'd be cool, honestly. You know, but like I said, we'll see how it all works out in the end. Because yeah, you don't know, and it'll be weird, you know, having my carburetor not mounted sideways. Because right now it is. Yeah. Because, like, oddly enough, it's kind of funny. If I didn't, if I hadn't, if my brain will work here, come on, brain work, oh yeah, that's right. If I was able to, like, mount the car the right way, well, here's the thing, I don't trust nitrous. Like, here's the thing. I know nitrous can be, it's fun and can be good, but it's so volatile. And the problem with nitrous is that, and as I'm sure you're aware there, Joseph, if you run your cars with nitrous, you have to basically rebuild your engine quite often with a nitrous car. Versus when you're running like turbo cars, it's usually not as bad, right? So that's kind of the idea. But this is the carburetor that I will run when I have the turbo on the car. Which this is a Um, you know, this is a 2-barrel Holley 500 CFM carb. This is the Holley 4412 model. And the thing is, this will be perfect for when I run boost. It will be way too much carburation for the car without boost. So I'll have to get this thing like cleaned up because I think what I'll do is I will this carburetor I will likely send to a buddy of mine that he rebuilds carburetors, and like he's got one of those machines that like cleans them really good, and all this finish would basically be like brand new because there is rust, a little bit of rust in this carburetor, not a ton, but a little bit. Like, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. Nah, you can't really see that, but there is a little bit of surface rust building on the just on the throttle blades here, right? So, but yeah, walk softly and carry a big carb. Exactly, right? But yeah, and like I said, it's a 2-barrel 500, but it won't be like, yeah, with my 200 cubic inch, this is way overkill. Once I'm actually, like I said, running the turbo with it, this carburetor will be all right. But because I am debating as well, like when I do my head work, do I attempt? Because I've got another Holley 2-barrel carb, right? And it's like supposedly it's a 267 CFM carb, just like what I have in the car right now. But the one on the car is a motorcraft carb. If it's mounted the right way, that carburetor might actually work right. Because Holleys don't like to be mounted sideways, and mine is mounted like with my adapter that's currently on there, because those inline sixes had a 1-barrel carb from the factory. It mounts the carb sideways, and Holleys don't like to be sideways. They don't want, as an example. So how would that mount? Basically, so it would be like this. So you'd have the or actually it'd be like that. Yeah, it'd be like this. So mounted, say the engine's going this way, right? Across, it'd mount on top like this. So the fuel bowl would be on this side instead of being in the back like that, like it should, or being even in the front. Because as long as it's mounted the correct way, these Holley carbs are a lot happier. But and in the end, we'll see how it's gonna work. Like, hang on, what? You gotta figure out the swap from a carb to a Holley Terminator for your Ford 2.3. Oh, I mean, and you're running 4 on horse. Well, that'd be interesting. So you want to run it with the Terminator EFI? It's possible. I do wonder of what would be optimal for that thing. What are you talking about, having multiple car parts in my living room? I have no idea what you're talking about, as I'm holding a carburetor and there's a steering wheel. Like, you don't want to see my shed as an example for that. You don't want to see my deck right now, because my deck has a couple car parts on it. Like, you walk out to my house, you can tell this person's who lives here is a car girl, or potentially like a car guy, because I mean my dad's a bit of a car guy. But like on my deck, there's a hood. Leaning up against the deck, there's another hood. On the deck, there is a radiator and a fan shroud. Go around to the back of my deck. There is a stack of tires and wheels. You go into my shed, and right now there is louvers in there. Like there's the rear window louvers that I took off that Escort a couple years ago. What's all in there? There's a bunch of Fox body parts. There is the turbos in there. There's a lot of stuff. Like I said, I got a lot of stuff lying around. It's great. It's great. I mean, that'd be dope. Although I'd much rather have the rear end of the thing, you know, because sitting in the trunk seems cooler than sitting on the hood. What's a better Ford rear end, the 7.5 or the 8? The 8-inch would be better in the 7.5. Because also, the one nice thing, so the 7.5, kind of annoying to swap out the gears in, right? Because it's a rear load set gearing, but with the 8-inch, it's kind of like a 9-inch that way, where it's a front load, right? The 8-inch is a little stronger than what a 7.5 is, too. So there's that. But then also, like, and also, you know you're a car person when you don't only have parts at your house, but you have parts at your buddy's house too. Because I do. I go up to Edmonton, and right now, I have an... No, Cole. He's not... Or... Yeah, Cole. He wasn't talking about an 8.8. He was talking about a Ford 8-inch. Which the 8-inch rear end was used in V8 cars throughout the 70s. When they stopped putting the 9-inch in compact cars. Right? That's what they were talking about. Now, like, the 7.5, it's not a bad rear end or anything. But it's not going to hold up to a lot. Like, especially if you want to put slicks on the back of it, as an example, you're going to grenade that rear end, typically. Now, the one thing is, I also want to put slicky tires on Stitch. I'd love to, just to see how she'd be. Like, take her to a couple track days with the slicky tires and just have fun that way. And then, and I can see, as an example, what the difference is between, like, you know, a Cooper Cobra, you know, on the strip versus, say, like, a little more slicky of a tire. You know, like a Mickey Thompson, something like that. Oh, you just know the 8.8, fair enough. Yeah, because, like, the 8.8 was introduced in 84 or 85. I think it was 84, yeah. You know, and the 8-inch preceded the 8.8 that way. And the 8-inch was a variant of the 9-inch. So, yeah. But yeah, like, and to be fair, like the car parts that I have, so, like, yes, I've got, you know, the stuff here, and I've got the stuff in, you know, like I said, in Edmonton as well. But, and I just picked up, like I said, that 8.8 rear end as well that I don't know what I'm going to do with it. We'll see. Friend of mine, she's had it forever. You know, like, apparently she's owned that rear end for, like, she said, like, 20 plus years. Just been kind of sitting around for a long time. Came out of a turbo coupe. So, it's got 373s and stuff. And it had ABS, too, in there, which is kind of cool. You know? But, yeah, I have that stuff. I have, like, bins and bins of shit. Like, to be honest, a lot of this stuff, I should try and just go to a frickin' swap meet and sell this shit. Like, set up a table and sell shit. So, I don't know. We'll see. Because I do have parts to sell. Like, but then, the kind of cool part is, though, and here's the thing. Like, if my buddy doesn't end up trading... Well, so, what I can do, just thinking about it as well, because, like I said, if Hail Mary sells, and then I have the 82 engine, because, like I said, I have a good idea with that is Stitch's motor. I don't know what to exactly do with that. I might just keep it around as a just in case sort of thing. Like the original motor that's in Stitch. Like I just put it on like on an engine stand and just leave it, um, you know, at like in my body seat can as an example. I could do that, and then do something with it later. Like say maybe I find a car that needs a straight six, and I can just throw that in there, and I can either sell all of the T5 weird specific parts. There's two people that I could potentially sell it to. Because there's either Dave that has the Poltermerc, or there is Braden with Buzz. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh, nice. I mean, I've never had an 8.8 apart or anything like that. Actually, technically that's a lie. I have had an 8.8 apart, but I got it that way. So there's that. Um, you know, saw stuff by beer seat. No, beer. Ew, gross. If you want to make me happy when it comes to alcohol, give me, you know, Crown, or give me Smirnoff. Those are my two like go-tos. I have parts for vehicles, and I had a garage sale and did pretty good. Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Like it is worth it to clear out your stuff every now and then, but. Also, hi, Murat. How's it going? Nice to see you. I heard sold something and need it later. Oh yeah, like, because this is the thing. Like, I have some unicorn parts, that people might want, might not. Because again, the unicorn parts that I have, for the most part, are parts that, unless if you're doing exactly what I did, you'd have no use for. So. Oh, the vanilla is good, although I prefer, if I'm gonna have Crown, my absolute favorite is the maple, though, because the maple is so fucking good. It's so good. Setting a backlash just right for the ring and gear and pinion is not easy. Fair. Yeah, like I said, I've never done it. So, I've seen one of them blown apart because I had one that was blown apart. Like, that's how I got it. But, I've only ever had, like, the rear cover off. As an example, I did the diff cover. But yeah, because I know like the Red Deer swap meet's coming up in I think it's like April. So, like I said, I might bring some stuff that way. Ever tried mixing apple cider and whiskey? I have not, no. See, I'm not a big fan of like Dr. Pepper that way, so I think it would like ruin my alcohol that way. Like ruin my taste of the alcohol. So, just I'm not a Dr. Pepper gal. Never have been. But like what's really amazing though, like here's the thing. Crown Royal Maple and Barks Root Beer. You mix those and holy fuck, it's so good. Like Barks specifically. Other root beers will work, but the way that Barks is made, it just complements so well with the Crown. And it doesn't have to be like it could be vanilla, it could be maple, it could be regular Crown, whatever. It works really well, and I love it. Hi, Saber. I'm surprised you are not like really high as a kite because I gave you your meds earlier. And now, granted, I did miss a little bit because it's kind of annoying to try and give him his meds because it's like I have to give it to him through a syringe and shoot it into his mouth. It's just some pain medication for him, which is gabapentin, oddly enough. But Yeah, Crown Royal and root beer is really good. Like it's freaking amazing. Like I would totally recommend if you're gonna go have a drink, go do that. And especially like if it's Barks root beer too, because like Barks is my favorite root beer. Other than like U.S. A&W root beer is really fucking good too. But because we don't get that root beer up here, we get the A&W root beer is a lot different up here. But because like down there as an example, they use aged vanilla. Like that'd be cool. You know, if we did that here, but we don't. So yeah. Yeah, so this is a cool thing though. Like when I'm live here on YouTube, it's such a good vibe, and I can just chat with y'all, and it's just so chill. It's great. I go live on TikTok, and I just have nothing but trolls and awfulness, and the time goes by very slowly. Like we've been here for an hour and 20 minutes. Not all of us, because some of you jumped in a little later, but you know, and that sort of thing, and that's fine. I don't expect people to be here like off the bat, right? But yeah, you know, it's fun though. It's cool. Ooh, I mean that'd be awesome. Like the one thing is what I really want to do. So as an example, before it is too late, I'd love to be able to um go out to like so for any of my Alberta, you know, peoples, I'd love to be able to go out to Ghost Lake and then we can like have a barbecue out there and you know just have a good time and then we can drift our cars on the ice together and stuff. It'd be a riot. But I'd have to figure out how I would be able to set this up because I'd have to see with like I said, my Alberta peoples of when they'd be able to get out there, when it works for them, and then I'd have to obviously like figure out okay barbecue right, and figure out like burgers and hot dogs and whatever else. You know, it'd be cool. And yes, you guys on YouTube are my absolute favorites. Like, because like I said, I go even though I go live more on TikTok, but it's always so much more special when I'm live here. It's always so much more special. Because like I said, there's less trolls. I've had 2 trolls in here. For reference, earlier, um, I went live on TikTok earlier tonight. Like I ended the live around 1 a.m. I think. Um, I had to block 17 different accounts in a 2-hour span. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. I'm not gonna reply to that message right now because yeah. Anyways, so yeah. And like, I deal with so many trolls, and it's really annoying. Like, I just want to be here and just chill and talk about cars and stuff like that, you know. But people just want to like be assholes, right? People will like they will attack you, right? They will try and like see your looks and they will just think, "Oh, you're not very attractive, so I'm just going to do that." Or, "Hey, look, you don't look like your prototypical girl," right? So they're just going to keep spamming these comments like, "Are you a guy? Are you a girl? Are you transgender?" And it's like, even if I was, does it really give a shit about the conversation? Like genuinely, who cares? You know, it's just annoying as shit when I get these comments. Um, even like I had a girl earlier that also was like I said in on TikTok in you know in the comments, And she put a comment to say, every time you annoy me, I get rid of a letter in your name that way. So she kept replying, like, I kept purposely doing that, like, annoying her, right? She kept getting rid of a letter in my name. So, like, it started as full Katarina, and then it went to Cat, and then she'd get rid of, like, the I, and so it'd be like, Katrina. She'd get rid of the A on the end, and it was so silly. Just so silly. Yeah, well, and of course, like, and I really, like I said, and I appreciate every single one of you, because you guys are awesome, and it's great. And also, like, what's cool about being live here on YouTube, I don't have to fight for people to talk in the chat. Like, right now, I have 9 viewers on here, which isn't like a ton, but it's enough, right? And I have 3 people talking right now. For me to have 3 people talking on average with a TikTok live, I have to have like 20, 30 people, right? And or more. But then I've had lives, like an example on TikTok, where they've just exploded and they get like 400 viewers at a time, and there's like 300 of the, like, if it's like four, like my peak was 380 viewers actually that I got once. Um, but about 300 of them were trolls, right? There was about 80 of them that actually wanted to chat properly. That was last year. Wild time. But, you know, yeah. Like, I like the app TikTok overall. It's just the algorithm experience is a little better in my opinion. But beyond that, like, YouTube is far better for the community and stuff. And the relationships you can get on here, because it's, even though it is kind of anonymous on here, because, like, you don't necessarily have to use, like, your actual name if you don't want to. You could make it, you can change your name to be whatever on here, right? But it's a lot more personable, and it's not like somebody, as an example, is going to make like multiple YouTube accounts just to troll you. Like, on TikTok they do, not really on YouTube. If they do that, they might make like 1 or 2. I had somebody make 14 earlier. 14 accounts just to troll me. Just, yeah. But, that's how it goes, right? That's how it goes with all this shit. And, like, my audience base on here is older. So, like, the average age of my audience on here, because I can tell you because of my metrics, is between the ages of 27 to 42, right? That is the bulk of the range. Where on TikTok, the majority of the viewership is between the ages of 13 to 25, right? So so uh the maturity, goes downhill with typically the younger you are, right? So it doesn't help. Oh yeah, there's a lot of that, and it's kind of sad, I just want to be here and chill and just vibe with y'all, right? And chat cars and stuff, and and see, like, what are your cars, like, what are your guys' builds that you do in your cars? Um, like, what, you know, I always am curious about builds. And that's why, like, working with the dyno company is fucking cool, because I get to ask those questions when I'm at the dyno and be like, yo, what do you think this thing's gonna run? Like, what's done to it? All that different stuff, right? It's fun. And then it's really interesting to see, like, because even at times, like, even working the dyno, right? That I get people that'll ask, like, because I'll ask them, like, hey, well, what do you expect this thing to run? They said, well, actually, I don't know. Like, what do we expect it to run? So then I'll ask, like, hey, what are the modifications on your vehicle? And we'll talk to them, and then we'll give a rough estimate. Nah, I can't talk. A rough estimate, and we're usually fairly close, you know? But then you get those people with a dyno that will argue with you, because, like, there was this guy in Fort Mac last year. He ran a truck with, I think it had 52-inch tires on it. And I told him, you know your tires are robbing you of about 200 horsepower to the wheels. And he's like, no, there's no way. I mean, I know they're gonna rob a bit, but there's no way. I'm like, dude, think about how much weight that is. 52-inch tires. Like, the car barely, or that truck barely fit on our dyno that way. It was wild. But those tires probably weighed, over 100 pounds a piece. Like, with full air in them and everything, they're probably closer to 200 pounds. Like, it's just insane. But he didn't want to believe us. Like, it still made very respectable. I think it was about 700 horsepower made on the dyno. But it would have made closer to 900 if he, as an example, had like a 28-inch tire on the back. But, what do they know? Oh, a NASCAR engine on a dyno, that'd be cool. And engine, like, and engine dynos are a lot different than what we do, because we just have a trailer dyno that's a single roller, right? It's cool, it's fun. I love it. But like I said, I can't wait for this next season. And, traveling around, going up to Fort Mac a couple times, maybe going up to Saskatchewan. Hopefully we have a better dyno year this year, because last year was a down year, quite a bit of a down year. We went from running over 300 cars in the season to running about 80. Like, rough downturn. But, it happens, right? Oh, your baloney skin tires are light? Exactly, right? And that's the thing. Like, the lighter weight your tires are, the more power it'll actually make to the tires. The only downside to that, though, is, like, you might not be able to put the power down as much with, like, a smaller tire. Because it might just blow the tires off. And that's kind of the tricky part of figuring out, okay, how small of a tire can you actually go and still get traction? It's that gamble. But the one nice thing, though, is that I kind of have my big tires for the car already. I've had them for a couple years now. Those Cooper Cobras that are 28 tall and 10.5 wide. It does really well for traction that way. And, like, right now, they're way overkill on my car. Way overkill. But I bet that was a loud engine on the dyno, because, like I said, NASCAR motor, open header, hell yeah. Because I doubt, because I have a sneaking suspicion, you probably didn't put mufflers on it, did you? But, to be honest, though, it is about 5:30 in the morning. I haven't slept yet. So I think I'm gonna get ready to go to bed, and then, because, tomorrow, or today, I guess, it's Super Bowl Sunday, so gonna be watching the Super Bowl. So it's gonna take I'm not having, like, a party or anything at my house, but, basically, like, I think I'm gonna cook up a, baguette for me and my dad with, but make it, like, garlic cheese. That way, be great. Why am I up? I am usually up around this time. I just, like, here's the thing. When I was a cab driver, I was staying up until, like, I wasn't really getting to sleep till 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. Right? That was just a thing. Because I would work 7 till 7. And sometimes I had to, like, do a trip at, like, 8 o'clock in the morning. I've done that. I have done, like, when I was working the dyno, when I was working as a cab driver, there was one time that I did a shift, because normally I did 12-hour shifts. But I did an 18-hour shift one time, because there was just out-of-town trips that I just had to do. I made a good money that day. But, God, that was torture. I still had to work the next night, too. That was the worst part about it. I didn't get back here, because, like, I was working in Olds. I didn't get back here to Sundre to go to bed until, I think it was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So basically, I slept from 1 o'clock in the afternoon until about 5:30. Then I got up, got ready, went back to work again to work another 12-hour shift. It was brutal that night. You know, that weekend was torture. But well worth it, though. Like I said, well worth it. But anyways, like I said, I am going to sleep. So thank you all for tuning in. You guys are absolutely incredible, and I promise I'll do another live on here soon. Probably won't be near as late, you know, of a live next time. I think I might do it in like the early evening or even like late evening, like even if it's at like 9-10 o'clock at night or something. For the next one, we'll see. So, anyways, hope you all had an absolutely wonderful time. Take care. In this girl. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. And no, I've never driven with toothpicks to hold my eyes open. And yeah, and for our next trick, I'm going to disappear. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.